This is Songwriter's Room, and I'm your host, Tomoko. Today's guest is Billy Nunn. Billy Nunn is originally from Buffalo, New York, currently resides in Las Vegas. He is one of the great masters of the Hammond B3 organ, 2015 Buffalo Music Hall of Fame inductee, and a songwriter with many Billboard hit songs. He co-wrote with Philip Bailey, Mary Jane Girls All Night Long, his brother Bobby Nunn, She's Just a Groupie, and Rick James' Mary Jane. He worked with many other giants and toured all over the world, such as the legendary harmonica virtuoso Sugar Blue, Johnny Lytle, Marvin Brown from the Delphonics, the Miracles, the Platters, Gap Band, George Benson, and more. Later in part two, Billy will break down the song Mary Jane and show us how he wrote it with Rick James. That's gonna be some fun. So can I get a whoop whoop?
Yeah.
So ladies and gents, please welcome Billy Nunn.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
How you doing, Billy? Good to see you.
Oh, good to be seen.
So first off, Billy, can you give us a little quick 15 seconds live performance so that the audience can get a little taste, please? All right,
Just a
thank you
little.
so much. So you were an organ player first back in Buffalo, New York, right?
Right, yeah.
And you are a beast playing that organ. Audience may not know exactly what it is. What's the difference and how difficult it is to play?
Well, organ different from piano because primarily you got to play the bass yourself,
Hmm.
either with the left hand and with the pedals. And piano players have to have a bass player, so different in that respect. Plus, the touch of the keys are a lot different too. A lot easier on organ. You know, if you play an acoustic, you end up with those arms like Popeye. You know, because it takes a lot of strength to play
Right.
acoustic piano. You know.
So how did you get started?
Well, actually, a neighbor friend of my mom's, Edith Ingram, she loaned my mother a Jimmy Smith album called Bashin', and it had Walk on the Wild Side on it. I just listened to it, and something clicked. The high school I went to, there was a gentleman a year ahead of me named Jimmy Davis, and by coincidence, he played organ. So during the summer vacation of junior to senior year for me, on Saturdays, I go by his house, and he'd show me a few things which really helped, and then I also listened to a lot of records: Jimmy Smith, Jack McDuff, Groove Holmes, Larry Young, Don Patterson. So I'd listen to them, and I'd be sitting at the piano trying to pick stuff out.
Okay. You wrote Mary Jane with the one and only Rick James. How did that come about?
I had been living in Baltimore, and I just came back from Japan with a group of Soft Tones and the Miracles, and went back to Buffalo. Got introduced. My brother had met Rick through a young lady, Vanessa Brooks, and he had just came back from Canada and was
Mhm.
looking for musicians to help him with some songs. So we just started hanging every day and jamming, and but he had said he had a song he had started called Mary Jane, needed some help. I
Mhm.
told him, I do the music and finish it up for him. He had basically the lyrics, so that's how it came about. He came up with the melody. I came up with like string parts, the chord changes, the bridge, the flute parts, clavinet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mellow but funky song.
Oh yeah, it's a blessing type song, because it's like 42 years old. You still
Yeah.
hear it. Makes
Yeah.
me proud to have been involved.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I remember on BT Awards when he said on the stage, I'm Rick James, bitch.
Oh yeah, he did Fire and Desire with Tina.
Right. It was hilarious.
I mean, Chappelle coming up with the whole skit, that was like a
Exactly.
second win for him. It became like the hottest catchphrase.
Exactly. Rick was doing a lot of drugs and stuff. So you've been hanging around with him and Tina Marie and all this time. How crazy was those times?
They were pretty crazy. It was it was basically late '70s, early '80s. I was living in LA then. A lot of weed, a lot of cocaine, a lot of alcohol was floating around the city, and
What about you? Were you doing
kind of, did a little bit. I did co-write Mary Jane. Not about a girl, and it's not about the candy.
What are the memorable moments that you remember most with him?
Well, during that summer of '77, when we were getting songs together, we basically hung out every day, and then at night we go to the clubs, listen to the music, party. I was with him before the hoopla started, and so I kind of had a different side than most people. Once the hoopla started, he kind of changed a little bit, which people do. We had a lot of fun together, and then didn't see each other for a long time, and then finally did hook back up because he'd come to Vegas. And I'd go to the shows and stuff. And we'd sit and talk, go out after the show, have a couple of drinks, and
Okay. What are the challenges?
well, the money. The money comes in quick and abundance, and you get that fame thing going on. Everybody loves you. You can't do no wrong. You start believing your press releases, then that's when you start getting in, a little bit of trouble. When you're making a lot, you got to spend a lot sometimes. You got to kind of prepare for the future because nobody stays on top forever.
Right.
So we all got vices of some type. Best just try to keep them under control.
So did you get a paper written right about the song Mary J with him, and then you still get some royalties?
That's another show. In fact, I mean, while I'm on here, I've been trying to get in touch with an entertainment lawyer who can kind of help me because, in all actuality, on the copyright, my name isn't on there, and I was supposed to get money from him under the table. It never took place. I don't know. Mary Jane was kind of like a
Wow.
shock type of thing. You and I came out first and first single and went gold, and then Mary Jane was the second single. None of us thought it was going to do what it did. You figure if you trust somebody and they're your friend, they'll do what they say they were going to do, which never took place. So,
Did he tell you that he's gonna?
well, around the time when we, were writing it, when we finished it, recorded it, and it came out, I'll kick you down. But then, like I said, the hoopla come in sometime and changed everything. I had to get a lawyer. Was trying to sue him at one point, and I mean, like now, I've been in touch with BMI. He's on ASCAP, and BMI has a thing called revised work, where if you can present some type of documentation that you had something to do with the song, you can have the work revised where your name shows up on the copyright. So, and
But still, I would think it's harder because he's dead now.
actually, the end of last year, corresponding with BMI's legal team, then I got in touch with ASCAP. But the last word I heard from BMI was that I probably would need a lawyer. They couldn't give me any legal advice naturally.